Hello, everyone. This is my discussion post regarding characteristics I would like in a supervisor. For the first question, it says reflect on the characteristics you would want in a supervisor when you're completing your postmaster supervision experience towards your licensure or certification. What are competencies, personal, interpersonal characteristics, work style, and approach to supervision of a potential supervisor that you believe would provide you the best supervision experience for you? Um, for me, there's a couple traits that I personally would like in a supervisor. I don't want one who is in a term kind of a pushover. I want productive feedback. I want feedback that allows me to grow in areas that I may have some weakness in. From some of the examples that we saw inside the book, there's a lot of times where the supervisor is kind of on the fence about pushing back at their supervisee. I would prefer that to not be the case, where I do end up interning at getting my post grad experience. Um, Another would be being open to questions. Um, I like to ask questions when I'm not particularly sure about stuff. From what I've seen so far in my experience in school, asking questions is encouraged, but that is a concern of mine in post grad. So I'm just going through my notes here. I kind of want a supervisor who's kind of like not exactly an opposite of me. Um, I'm relatively independent when it comes to certain things. Like I can get through things without asking a lot of questions, and being kind of conservative to myself. I kind of want a supervisor who's the opposite of that, who is a little bit more outgoing, who's a little bit more extroverted, if one could say. Um, Kind of in a style that's compatible to where like these areas that I've struggled in, they kind of fill that gap and allow me to be productive in the areas that I need to be. Um, so overall, I kind of just want a supervisor who's willing to engage in conversation, learn, teach, and be flexible with what they're offering on the table. Regarding the second question of my supervisor is incompetent, um, I would want to talk to them about it to start. Um, I would like to get that situation addressed before doing anything very rash. Um, Having dialogue with the supervisor about where you may have some concerns with their behavior or their skills, I feel like it's probably the most productive way to kind of get this sorted. Moving to the third question, would I like to be a supervisor? I'm not sure. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure I would like to. I'm not particularly fond of teaching, um, but I am fond of like seeing growth get facilitated in a professional setting. Um, I like hearing different ideals and perspectives, um, which it kind of sounds like teaching, but I'm not really big on teaching. Obviously, my concerns would be just the weight of the responsibility. It is a big responsibility. Um, it's a lot of legal and ethical things you need to uphold. And for some people, that can be kind of overwhelming. Um, I would have to give it a little bit more thought before I ever make kind of like a decision with that. But besides that, I think that answers all the questions.